Welcome to Frax Check, your weekly Frax vibe check. I'm your host, Capital K, and I'm joined by my co-host, DeFi Dave, and our producer extraordinaire, Sam. We'll be going straight to the source of truth via checking the chain. But before we jump in, please, lovingly, gently, tap that subscribe button. Help us get our march to 10K. We need you to get there. And also, please follow us on our Substack and subscribe there, flywheeloutput.com. We are shipping content nonstop, so please go support us there as well. And join the conversation at Flywheel DeFi on Telegram and Twitter. This week, boys, I called this week same, but different week.
Same, but different.
As the name suggests, the things this week's are about unchanged with maybe some small changes. And here we see that the very first thing we start out, as always, is our flagship product, the Frax stablecoin at about $1 billion, unchanged over the week. Unchanged.
Literally same.
Next, on the we got to check the peg, as always. This is a stable coin. Here we got as high as 1.001 and as low as 0.995, which is actually quite interesting to see it get to 995. I guess somebody figured they could short some Frax. Maybe they picked the wrong coin to do so in. But that's the peg, and then we had to check the market. So we went into the market via Curve and swapped 100 million of Frax, and we received an exchange rate of 0.9984, which is 2 bips lower than last week. Nothing newsworthy. We're moving on to the collateralization percent. Here, we see that the percent is unchanged at 92% from the last week. And right next to it, we have our decentralization percent, which is currently at 23.9%. And that is about 80 bips lower than last week. So pretty much flat across the board for our flagship product, the Frax stablecoin. Now, on the next slide, I'm going to talk about the Frax BP, which arguably is our liquidity as a service for all the folks at home there. And the TVL dropped about 1.6% to 521 million. And this has been a TVL decline of 2 weeks in a row. We've declined in TVL to approximately about 3% in the last 2 weeks. So that, not great, but flat. On the right side, you see that we are tracking the volume of these pools. And in March, literally the first 7 days, we've printed 22 million in monthly volume. Just for context, in the whole of February, we printed 49 million. So just in the last 7 days alone, there's been a ton of stablecoins trading. Though this is still only 4.2% of the utilization rate for this TVL. So quite low still, but hopefully we'll get that number up. And on the next slide, we're going to take a look at the yield and bribes. And I always check this because I want to see how effectively how well our bribes are doing. So here we see that for a $530 million pool, we get about 1.7% in APR. And what that translates to is about 345K for the one epoch, which is one Vodium epoch, which is 14 days. Okay. And then we always compare that to how much we paid for this epoch. And we paid roughly 241K. All right. And the back of the envelope math says we're doing okay. We're doing definitely okay. But remember, Frax Finance's protocol-owned liquidity isn't the only liquidity in this pool. So, to that end, Frax incentivized $733 of liquidity for $1 of bribe spent. I think that's pretty juicy. That's pretty juicy. And things only get better from here. And on the next slide, we're going to talk about my favorite moment, and that is the percent of three pool. And we are still same at 104% for the last 3 weeks. Like, that is a record, because remember, the last time we barely held on for two weeks. And now this is the third week that we're above the red line. So very happy camper here. And what's cool to note is that both the Frax base pool and the 3 pool pretty much dropped equivalently. They are 521 million for the base pool, and then 501 million for the Frax for the 3 pool. And on the next slide, you'll see kind of a side-by-side comparison across the 3 large stable pools in Curve. Now, I want to make a correction here. Last week, I had said that the Frax 3 CRV was down 100 million. That was my fault. I mislooked at something else. The number it was supposed to be 456 million, whereas I said it was 347 million. So $100 million difference there. But we also see an interesting point here. Frax 3 CRV actually gained 10 mil over the last week, rather than losing TVL like all the other 2 pools did. But I feel like everybody's pretty much neck to neck right here, try to battle for the stablecoin dominance in Curve. I think it might be that Frax 3 CRV saw a really nice TVL bump, given the volume of stablecoin activity for the last couple of days. I think that's why the TVL just hopped over there. And now let's move over to our meta pools. Quick reminder, meta pools are pooled paired against the base pool. An example is like LUSD Frax BP and ALUSD Frax BP. We're at 72 million, which is a decrease of 9% from last week. This is not the same. This is very different. So that's why I said there's some pain in this week, but it's all right. We'll live. And on the following slide, we're going to talk about how the bribes and yields looks like in the meta pool world, the stable pair meta pool world. So I sorted here by TVL because, you know, as a stable, if you're LPing stables, you kind of want to go in and go out with the lowest slippage possible. So I chose that one with the highest TVL. And you see here, ALUSD is printing a nice 8.5% at over 46 million in TVL. That's pretty damn hot. And it's not too shabby if you believe/trust in Alchemix's mechanism and collateral type. Like, it's a pretty nice place to park your Frax BP. And what's interesting is you no longer have like a second best option because everything else, aside from DOLA, is in the low 2% or the high one point something percent. So you really don't have another game in town. So you pretty much have to flood all into ALUSD or bust. And then on the right hand side, we see what the liquidity looks like per bribe pair. And we see that Frax paid 29K or rather 30K in bribes and received $2,416 for $1 of bribe spent. I feel here is our most efficient usage of bribing. We just get
so efficient,
outsized.
much wow.
Efficient.
So efficient, much wow. And we're getting outsized here. Like, this is definitely like bear market situation. In a bull market, you bet your ass we're going to be paying a lot more for this liquidity. Guaranteed. So enjoy it while it lasts, guys. And then again, any projects out there looking to get work with the meta pools, please join the Flywheel Telegram chat and DM any of the hosts for assistance. Also, one quick note, Frax BP could be paired with non-stable pairs. And in that front, you know, we have names such as Ohm, Frax BP, Reserve Frax BP, Badger Frax BP. Shout out to Badger.
Wait,
and
Sam,
then
hit the slide.
Yes. And those, the non-stable TVL, go back. The non-stable TVLs is at 19.7 million, down 10%. So
Ouch.
This is definitely different. Not
Very
same,
different.
same. But
Not
it's
same.
all right. It's still
trending up.
Still trending
Higher
up.
highs.
Yes. Yeah, let's do some TA.
I like the reframing right there.
That's right.
For higher
Pivot
lows,
master. Higher lows. That's what they call it, right? And then here we see that the Frax, on the next slide, we see that the Alchemix, again, is dominating the leaderboard.
Wow.
And they're paying. If you're an Alchemix fan, you are getting paid with a capital P. Like, this is 54% APR. Like, that's nice. That's nice for you to just put it in there. Seriously, you have ALUSD and Frax and AL Alchemix, you just throw it in here, like, you're pretty much just chilling through this bear market. So not financial advice, just giving you the facts on chain. And what's interesting is that, do you guys notice that none of the CVX, FXX, or CAPX, CRV is even on the top list anymore? Like, they're not even making the top 3. And you see here, there's Reserve and Ohm that is coming in and printing. So I thought that was quite nice to see that other pairs are above the usual suspect. And then we see here on the bribes front that we paid only 12.4K in bribes, and we incentivized $1,588 per $1 of bribes spent. Again, like, I don't think you get this during a bull market. So let's enjoy it while it lasts. And then on the next slide, you'll see a summary adding together the TVL of the non-stable and stables, where we are down 9% from last week. We crossed literally the 9-figure threshold, and then we went right back down to it. Damn it. we couldn't even hold on. But you know what is up and to the right only?
I don't know what. I don't know, kid. I don't know.
This one product. It looks like a rocket. It's called Frax ETH. Go to the next slide, please, everybody. Join me in welcoming a nice 6.6% bump. And just look at that graph. There is no tapering off. There is no consolidation period. Sam, say some TA words here. Like,
we're not even making higher lows. We're just
we're just up.
We're up only.
TVL discovery.
Yes, that's what you said. We're in TVL discovery mode right now. So it's up only. The count is 112,126, which represent a 6.6% growth over last week. And I'm liking this. As long as our growth is above 5% week over week, I'm liking it. And the reason why I was late doing this Frax Check was because I did this last night, and we were actually only at like 4% gain. But overnight, we gained 2K ETH out of nowhere, so I had to update this slide. But anyways, that is where we're at. On the right-hand side, we're going to take a look at where all this Frax ETH is hanging out. And you see that 57% of it is in the SFrax ETH vault, earning that nice native staking yield. And then 34% of them is hanging out in the Curve LP pool. Now, what's the most unique thing here is I see 9% hanging out in the Ether. This is a 34% bump from last week. So are they on BSC?
We should change the title of ELSE to monetary premium. Sam introduced that term in his speech. And so the monetary premium of Frax ETH is 9.4%, which is basically all the Frax ETH in existence that isn't being incentivized to earn yield. That's just being used for its own sake in and of itself.
Earning incentives somewhere else.
Earning incentives somewhere else, but it's not earning, but not directly from the issuer.
Exactly. Yeah.
Monetary premium.
Wow,
monetary premium. Check out our latest Substack down below on flywheeloutlook.com. Plug.
Where's like the juicy Frax ETH yields on other networks?
It's on
BSC.
Binance.
Yeah.
BNB. Shout out BNB. Shout out Thana. Shout out all those guys. Shout out.
Not endorsements. Not endorsements.
No,
Again,
not
giving you facts of where they're hanging out on chain. Just giving you facts.
This is alpha. Yeah. If you made it this far, you've earned it. Honestly. Shout out to all our daily listeners.
Yeah. Yes.
Watchers.
That is some serious alpha that I just looked, and that's some really big alpha.
Yeah.
Is it Thana? Is it BS?
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's it. Let's leave it there. Let's leave it there.
Let's go.
All right. And then obviously we have to always check with the peg with this is a stable coin at the end of the day. And you see here, we are about, on the next slide, you see that we are about as strong as we could ever be. At literally 0.9999 according to the dashboard. But we can't always trust dashboards here, so we have to go to the market and check it. And we swapped 3,500 Frax ETH into ETH in Curve, and we received an exchange rate of 0.9985. Very, very strong peg here, in my opinion. And we are rocking a nice steady TVL of 117 million. Still above 9 figures, baby. So far, so good. So good. Now, let's see how we stack up, though, with the others,
Wait,
right?
You know, I think there's. I have a question here. Maybe we can. Maybe this can be added into the next Frax checks. But how much money is actually being made? I mean, we could do some quick math, right? But maybe a chart. There's like two things. So, like, remember Wavy brought up that chart that shows the arbitrage product.
Yeah.
So, like, arbitrage profits plus the fees that we make. So the 8% fee that we make off the staking, right?
Yeah. I'll add that into the profitability section of the financials. That's a good point. I also got to add the FPI financials into it too. There's a few things. Yes, there's a few things I need to add, but let's look at the LSD landscape, and you see here that although Lido is still the crown and the king at 75% practically of the market, Frax has the highest 30-day net change, which is at 30%. Okay, so if we kind of keep this up, just maintaining this 30%, and it shouldn't be difficult if we could stay above, 6% every week. And we would catch up to Rocket Pool. I'm predicting a nice 6 months now. That's hopefully when.
Well, Shanghai's going to be the catalyst, right? So,
Yeah.
Bullish unlock.
Bullish unlock. And then, but one department that Frax is already on the top of. Do you guys want to take a guess of what that department is? Starts with a Y, ends in yield,
yield.
Yes. On the next slide, we'll see that Frax is dominating the game in the yield space at 6.33%, with its closest competitor, stake-wise, at 4.77%. So
insane.
Like it's still above by 1.4x the next guy. So I don't know what y'all doing. I definitely feel like we're going to have some great migration after the great unlock in Shanghai. Again, not financial advice. We have bags. We are biased. Okay, moving on. We have the FPI product. This is
literally same.
This is our producer's product. He loves this. And the supply's been pretty much...
Can I make a comment here? We're
yes.
actually capped. Like, we're going to be same until the Frax team decides to remove the cap.
True. That's a very, very fair point. Very fair point. We're going to be same for a bit. And that same number is 82.3 million in supply. And the inflation reading that's being pulled in to kind of benchmark the return is 6.3%. And right now, the FPI stablecoin is actually above the peg demand by 81 bips because inflation is coming down, but all the yields we gained are still in the FPI. But on top of that, one cool thing I wanted to note is the treasury actually increased by 100K over the last 2 weeks. So it went from 87.9 to 88 million in treasury TVL, this is the treasury that's being used to generate that inflation, generate the yield to match the inflation. And the majority of the holdings there is in the convex FPI Frax pool, 85% rather of the treasuries in there. So things are stable on that front. And then next, we have our Fraxland section, everybody. Here, we snatched a nice TVL of 232 million with 54 million borrowed. And we have a utilization rate of 80%. In my opinion, that is a pretty damn healthy utilization rate. across any lending benchmarks that you will have. The two graphs here that I like to look at is the supply value and the collateral value. And supply value here is where people put in their Frax stablecoin so that other people could borrow. You see that we're kind of tapering off at this level. And frankly, Frax AMO is one of the largest suppliers in this. I want to see more DAOs actually use this as a way to earn yield on their Frax, because the collateral sets are pretty nice. Like, it's isolated and into each collateral, and the individual pools are paying pretty handsomely. So I would love to see more DAOs adoption here. And then on the right-hand side, you see the collateral value, which is what people have to park in here in order to borrow the Frax supply. And that's also been going up and to the right, as you can see there. Now, on the next slide, I laid out the 12 pairs in the Frax lend right now. And
that's real nice.
Yes, DeFi Dave's reaction should tell you that it is really high. With the CRV Frax pair, it's paying 10.8%. 10.8% to park your Frax here. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's something about CRV and something about the three letters USD, coming together.
Some major farming operation. Who knows?
Yeah, some major industrial size farming going on here. But you see what's unique is Geom is right up there too, at 10%, right? At 10.5%.
What do the Omis know? Omis know?
The world reserve currency, y'all. That's what's up. So come in and lever up. Just kidding. And then underneath that, you have the most pristine collateral available, the S-Frax ETH. And that's paying a nice 7%. Honestly, if you don't want to mess with any of the CRV Geom stuff, you can't go wrong with the most premium collateral, right? So there you have it. That is it for the Frax lend. On the last leg of the DeFi Trinity, we have the DEX that nobody knows about called Frax Swap, aka the DCA machine that DeFi Dave loves to call it. But here we have a nice TVL of 69 million, which is down 4% from last week. And this is pretty much hovering between 69.75 for like a long time. But what's unique here is our monthly volume is just printing. Like, this is really, really efficient, because only for the last 7 days for the last 7 days, there's been 23 million in monthly volume. And that's 33.5% of the pool. Last month, we had multiples. We had like in the 300% of the pool in volume. So let's see if we kind of get to that state again. I know the last 2 months has been just ludicrous. Yeah. But if you look in December, one last point. If you look in December, that was also at 70% of the utilization rate. So it was actually quite efficient from the get. But yes, DeFi Dave.
So the DeFi Trinity, as of a few days ago, has evolved into stablecoin maximalism. That is the new meme being put out into the universe, the new concept, which is a more abstract version, chunked up version of the DeFi Trinity, which is not just lending protocols, AMMs, but everything. Like anything in DeFi can become a stablecoin.
Stablecoin maximalization. You heard it here first.
Maximalism.
Were we already stablecoin maxis beforehand?
But this is like the scholarly philosophical concept underlying our belief.
Yes. Stablecoin Marxism. Oh, sorry, I mean maximalism. That's what we have going on here.
We don't need a new religion.
Yes. So, anyways, for the DEX that nobody talks about, we are doing quite okay, in my opinion. And then finally, let's jump into our profitability check. And here we're going to take a look at the AMO holdings. So on the next slide, you see that we have pretty much unchanged, same, down 10 bits from last week. And that I don't know what else to cover here. It's literally the same from last week. So just look at the numbers. It is 710 million in Curve, 79.8 million in the liquidity AMO, 79.9 million in the lending AMO, and 179 million in the investor AMO, totaling 1,048 million doll hairs inside the Frax treasury.
Nice.
Again, unchanged over last week.
Unchanged. Same.
And now we're going to take a look at the profitability of the convex AMO in particular. And you see here that we are, yes, that is a negative number in front there. And we've paid, let me walk you through it though. So we got revenue for the first 7 days of March, 360K. And then we paid 890K in bribe expenses, which means we're at a loss of 530K for March. And we definitely lucked out because it just so happened that the last month of March, or the last month of February, we didn't have to pay the bribes. So we ended up with a positive month. Whereas now in March, we had to eat the bribe fee. So I expect us to be down small for the month of March. But regardless, this is the pay to play right now, and we're definitely growing. We're definitely growing at a massive clip. So let's keep it up.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yep. And that is it for this week's Frax Check, y'all.
Nice. It was good seeing the Frax team all in the flesh at ETH Denver.
Yes. Really
great. I met a new dev that's working on on-chain governance. So yeah, it's happening. I actually gave an interview with Sam. I'm just waiting for the ETH Denver people to get back to me to email me the shoot, but he goes into the detail on what on-chain governance looks like for Frax in the future. So be on the lookout for that.
Nice. It was the most high signal conference that I've been to in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The stage was overflowing. The overflowing for Sam. Oh my goodness. Could not find a seat. Everyone's standing around to hear this man speak about stablecoins and stablecoin maximalism. It was a beautiful sight to see.
Everyone's thirsty.
Everyone's wants stability in their lives and are crazy.
You know what I have to say is that everybody on the Frax team is like impeccably dressed. Sam had this like awesome looking like shiny blue champion jacket.
Oh, it's in his profile picture.
Dave's rocking the Arizona iced tea jacket, and then Drake comes out of nowhere. Drake looks like some like Manhattan socialite. Like everything's like high end, it's beautiful. Like these leather coats and like fur jackets and stuff. He's it's going to be a tough competition to see who's the best dressed at the Frax team.
I think it's the rest of them. I think everybody looks better than us in their Frax merch.
Frax merch.
Yeah. Frax merch. Coming soon. You know what else is coming soon? Frax slacks. Frax slacks. You heard it here first. Frax slacks.
Time to suit up.
Coming to a bonding curve near you.
That's so good.
And if you want to keep updated with all the Frax slacks and everything Frax, hit that bell button, subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube, subscribe to our Substack, flywheeloutput.com. I'm sorry I took this away from you, Kiet. Do you want to continue it?
No.
Okay.
I was going to say sign out.
Leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think. Give us a like. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Flywheel DeFi. Join the conversation on Telegram at Flywheel DeFi. You can follow me on Twitter at DeFi Dave 22.
You can follow me at 0xcapital_K.
I'm at traders_insight.
And go subscribe. Go subscribe to our Substack. All the alpha's there. And see you next week. Peace.
Subscribe.